I think it already started, so.
All right, well, let's just roll in.
Okay.
Hi, Kateri Gurlitt. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Have a seat.
Thank you.
So tell me a little bit about yourself.
Well, I come from divorced parents, so I grew up with a single mom, and she was raising 4 kids, and she has her own business. She's had that for about 20 years now, and we kind of grew up in the business. She would take us in and was like, all right, you're helping tonight. So we would associate with a lot of like people, customers at a very young age. We learned to handle money. She would make us stay and was like, okay, this is what you gotta do, you gotta count it. And so I kind of grew up around the workplace as well as at home, you know, cleaning after everybody, make sure, you know, I had to learn how to cook on my own, do my own laundry, stuff like that, because she was always at work. My sisters were in sports, and it was kind of just me and my little brother, and, you know, we grew up playing sports as well. And so that's kind of something where, like, I let my stress out and, like, anything that I dealt with. Now I paid off my own college, my freshman year, and this year as well. So I had to take a time between my 2 years so I could be able to help her out with the bills. I paid off my car, and right now I had enlisted in the Marines. So that's what I'm gonna be doing after I graduate from Butler.
So what are your strengths and your weaknesses?
One of my weaknesses is that I tend to be really critical about myself. Sometimes something doesn't go very well, or I make a mistake and I'm the first person that points the finger at myself. Knowing that, you know, as humans, you're supposed to make mistakes, you know, without failure, there's no success. So I tend to give myself positive talk. I'm doing a lot better now. Being in sports has really like helped me, you know, come back from mistakes, you know, because it happens to everybody. So now I'm more positive. I give myself positive talks throughout my day in those situations. I also tend to be really shy. I get really nervous in front of people, and I just tell myself that, you know, everything's okay. And for my strengths, I'm a very like dependent person because of my past. I'm able to do things that other kids weren't at the age that I was. So I know how to get around things. I know how to ask. I know what I need to do to be where I need to be, or what I need to get done. So I feel like those are my weaknesses and my strengths.
Okay, so given that you are planning on going into the military, what brought you to apply for this position?
I feel like, you know, after the Marines, I think I need something to lay back on. And when I took the year off of college after my freshman year, I did go back home and I worked full time. And I applied for assistant coaching job at the high school that I played at. And I really enjoyed being around those kids, giving them the knowledge that I had from my experiences of playing and up to the college level. And I feel like I really enjoyed watching them grow, watching them absorb all the knowledge that I had for them. Maybe I wasn't very experienced as other coaches in other teams, but I felt like I was very well prepared because of, you know, where I came from and how I grew up and what college I managed to come to. So I came back from not a very good program. In high school, we didn't win very many games, and I got a scholarship to play here, who was ranked number 2 in the nation. So I think that was something that I enjoyed doing. You know, it humbled me a lot in that sense that, you know, I was from a very good college, and I came back to my own program to help it grow.
So how would you handle a situation as a coach where you've got a player, especially at the high school level, where you don't cut any students because you don't have the luxury of cutting students because you need students, but they're just not gonna make it. I mean, they don't have that potential. They, you know, cost you more on the field than they help.
Right.
But you're not going to be able to cut them because we have a policy at the high school where everybody plays. So
Right.
what are you going to do? How would you handle that situation with that particular player?
At the time that I was helping the high school, we did have those players, you know, and as a JV and varsity team, you know, you had your varsity players and your JV team, and we had a C team, you know, and we would take those players and work extra time with them, stay after practice, and, you know, I'd let them know if you guys want to get your extra help, extra touches, you know, whatever it is, like, I'm willing to stay here and help you guys. And during the practices, we would really just enforce a lot of the techniques and tactics that you would use as a soccer player. And I think it's something that I would like to do as well, because I love helping people, especially in soccer, you know, help them grow. And I don't see anybody less than the ones that are better. I think everybody's equal, you know, they all have different weaknesses, and some are just weaker than others.
If you could compare yourself to any animal, which animal would it be and why?
Ooh, that's a great question. Let me get a second to think about that. I think I would go with an eagle, just because they're very territorial, and so I myself am very territorial with the people that I'm with, my family. I tend to protect them a lot. I like to make sure everything's okay, and they're very courageous, and I feel like that's something that I have, just because adversity kind of shaped me that way.
Okay. So what questions do you have for me about the position?
In case I do get the position or anything, with Kansas weather being very, you know, would there be facilities that we would be able to go in and practice if the weather did get bad?
Actually, we do have an arrangement one of our coaches has made with an indoor facility. So it's not fancy, there's not lines, but it is turf. So
Okay.
It's indoors, and it's got heating, and it's got air conditioning.
That's
so
a lot better than being outside. Yeah.
That's how we look at it too. So, and it's, you know, provided at almost no cost. So
Oh, wow.
that matters.
That's going to be very beneficial for us.
Yeah.
My other question is, I understand that, you know, you might have other candidates, but I feel like I'm suited for this job because of the experiences I have and how much I had to go through and how humble I am and willing to help those in need. And I just wanted to ask if I could have this job.
Okay. We have one more candidate we'll be interviewing next week, so we'll be in touch after that interview's concluded.
Perfect.
All right.
Thank you so
Nice
much.
meeting you.
Pleasure.
Me too. Sorry.
Do I gotta sit back?
Nope, we're done.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Are you okay?
Yeah.